This is a well-appointed and well-built family RV coming in just a little over 4,600 pounds as equipped with a slide, plus a Murphy bed up front. Folks, this right here is the 2021 Winnebago Micro Minnie 2306 BHS. So let's dive right into it. Again, being a somewhat lightweight for having a slide, right? 4,600 pounds is kind of one of those, I guess, gray areas, in my opinion, when it comes to RVs, because you can't use a vehicle that has 5,000 pound tow capacity because you're basically maxed out before you put anything in it, right? So your chances are you're gonna have to go up to something a little bit bigger, maybe like a half ton, 7,000 pounds, something like that. But the fact it does come with a slide, and you know, if you have a 7,000 pound tow rating, you have plenty of room. GVWR on this one is 6,000 pounds, so you have like 1,400 pounds of stuff you can put in here, which is plenty. But let's talk a little bit about some of the amenities. I do like the design, the color. I'm not super thrilled with this. This is just me, right? I don't know, going from the wood to this pattern, it's just a little odd for me. It's not my favorite. I guess in my mind, I like the fact they did it on the bottom. Maybe, you know, or if like the bottom, the whole thing was this pattern, but maybe the upper was all wood. I don't know. It throws me a little bit. Not my favorite, but hey, it's, you know, maybe you love it, right? Styling is for everyone. So if you're watching this, you love it. You're like, Ian, you're insane. Let me know in the comment section, because maybe it's just me. Maybe I just have bad taste. Who knows? My wife would probably agree with that. Right up top, though, you will see some decent storage. Pretty cool pulls, very modern. There are a few other manufacturers that use this, but not a ton of them out there currently. And if you take a look up top, you know, nice big storage right up there for some of those larger items. If you have big plate, salad bowls, things like that, they do fit up there. Your controls are right over to the side. That's pretty easy to access too. One of the things I do want to point out is right here, the fact that it does come with tank heaters. So if you plan on doing some camping, a little bit colder weather, you know that you have those 12-volt tank heaters on here to help prevent those tanks from freezing up on you, which is a big thing in cold weather camping. And then taking a look a little bit further down, right? So you have the upgraded countertop on here. I do like that. It's what they call like a thermofoil countertop, and it's it's kind of an in-between, right? It's above T-mold, and in my opinion, it's a step down from true solid surface, but it is lightweight, and it still allows you to undermount the sink, which is one of the reasons I love solid surface, right? So you do still get that. You know, unlike T-mold, you don't have to worry about water penetration, any water getting in there. Plus, it allows you to use sink top covers and have that basically flush top here, so you can use all this as prep space. Now, for me personally, the countertop is a little bit low. I'm 6 foot tall. You know, if I'm doing dishes, I'm down in here. This is not not my favorite way to do dishes. Hey everybody. I mean, you know, again, it's manageable, right? Like if I have a, you know, chances are I'm not going to be reaching down at the very bottom all the time. I can do it. I just wish it was like an inch or two higher for me personally. Now, you know, maybe that's not you. Maybe you're 5'10" and you're like, Ian, I don't know what you're talking about. This is the perfect height. You know, of course it's going to be subjective to the individual, but for me, it's a little short. Moving in a little bit further, though, is your 3-burner cooktop. This one is also recessed with the glass cover, so you can utilize this as prep space as well. So you do have all this countertop as prep space. Majority of it, though, will be right here. As far as electrical outlets, I believe, yeah. So you do have an electrical outlet right over to the side, plus this countertop extension, which is pretty nice. You also have USB ports up here, but that's not going to help you too much in the kitchen, more if you just need to charge a phone or something like that. The backsplash, I actually don't mind. You know, it is one solid piece, but the thing I do like is that it went all the way up to the top. However, I know they did this because it's more appealing. I just kind of wish they would have put something here just to protect, you know, the wood panel a little bit more from any grease splatters or things like that. But, you know, they went with aesthetic over function, and I can't blame them for that, right? It does look nice having the wood right there. If we take a look underneath, you'll see good storage space right over to the one side. The other side, you're going to be competing with some plumbing as well as the sink itself. Nice stainless steel bowl, by the way, you know, which complements that pull-out faucet really nicely. This is just a drop-down, of course, because you have, again, your sink there. But underneath that, you have 3 deep, full extension ball-bearing drawers, right? The first 2 here are very deep and usable. The bottom one, of course, is just going to be plumbing access. So I said 3, I lied. Sorry guys, it's only 2. But this right here is important. I do like how easy this is to get to your water pump. That's one of those things that oftentimes they kind of hide on you. If you ever have to do any kind of maintenance, it is great to know where that is at. Right down here is your fuse panel, so if you need to get to your fuses or anything, I like the fact that it's kind of tucked away, right, hidden a little bit better. And then in lieu of an oven, they give you a drawer, and the reason for that is because right up top is that convection microwave oven, right? Microwave and oven in one, plus the stainless steel hood underneath. Right next to that, fridge freezer combo. This one does run off both propane and electric. And then we make our way to the back. We'll open up the door. One of the things, folks, I will say about Winnebago towables, and I say this in all my reviews about them because they're one of the few that do it, and they do such a good job, and that is the door. All right, they actually frame out the door. Most manufacturers just use like a piece of plastic that they use as framing, and it's very wobbly, and so a lot of times it doesn't line up, right? It doesn't shut very well. That is not a problem with Winnebago. It's framed, it shuts just the way it's supposed to. If I have to give, that's probably one of my favorite things about Winnebago towables is the inside doors, as silly as that is. Now this one is a little tight. If you're going through this way, right, you do kind of have to sneak in. But once you're in the bathroom, you actually have pretty good space. Even if I sit on the toilet here, I mean, great space for my shoulders, plenty of space for my knees. And again, I am 6 foot tall. I love the linen closet in here. Open that up, plenty of room in there for everything you need. Towel bar over to the side, an actual bar rather than just a robe hook. I personally really like having an actual towel bar. Extra light in here. You'll see your vent fan for moisture, or if you need to get some smells out of here. When I step into the shower at 6 foot tall, because of the skylight, I can stand all the way up. Without it, not so much. So I do kind of have to stand basically right here. But you know, it does allow me to turn around. As long as I have the hand wand, I should be just fine for the most part. I don't see it becoming an issue. And if I shut the door, you can see I still do have enough room to turn sideways, which also is not always the case. Taking a step back out, you will notice the sink is a stainless steel bowl, which is great. Electrical outlet, some plumbing access underneath. This switch right here is for the lights up top. And then you have an actual mirrored medicine cabinet with storage in there. Making our way back a little bit further, we have the bunks. 250-pound weight capacity on here. I do not weigh that, so I will get in here to show you. At 6 foot tall, I could actually sleep in here, which is pretty great. Another bunk up top, again, as I said, 250 weight capacity on there. There are USB ports, both top and bottom. So if kids need to chill in there with a tablet or a phone, you have the ability to do that. Light top and bottom, emergency exit there. If we take a look at this bottom one, you'll see the net. So what this is for is let me explain how this works. So this is going to be for transporting items, right? This bunk actually flips up and locks into place. And then you have a door right there so you can fill this whole area with big items as you're traveling. Now when you get to your destination, the idea is that you empty all those bigger items out, you drop the bunk down, but now you can still utilize that space and get to everything in here. So a lot of the smaller items or items that you don't plan on taking out, again, you can just leave right down there, whether it's totes for clothes or laundry baskets, whatever. Because you have that door, remember, you can slide some bigger items in there. It doesn't have to fit through this opening, which again can be nice for things like laundry baskets. Direct vent furnace right there too, keep everything nice and toasty. Aaron, what do you think of having the door there? Do you think that's a good system? Do you think it's worth the extra money?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Good access to your goods.
Yeah, I totally agree. A lot of manufacturers don't put that in there because it does cost a little bit more, but for me, 100% worth it, in my opinion. The versatility of having all that storage makes it worth it. Another cool thing right behind the TV, take your phone, you will see right there is a wireless charging pad. So it's one of those extra features that, I do like the fact they put it in there. Would I use it a ton? I don't know, maybe. It's kind of out of the way, right? I would rather charge my phone there than put it right here and have a cord running from here to charge it, right? So I'd probably use it. Multimedia center right up top does have some different speaker zones on there. This one is a DVD player as well, and it is already hooked up into the TV, and both the DVD player and the TV do come with this unit. Electrical outlet right there over to this side. Also some hidden storage. You can take a peek in there, so some good extra storage. You have a DVD collection, or You know, even if you want to stick some auxiliary equipment in there, I mean, probably can. I mean, if it's short enough, you can fit it underneath the TV too, but it's all up to you. And then we have the slide out. And as I mentioned, this is one of the great things about, you know, being in that kind of weight category, is it's fairly lightweight for having the slide. This is a dream style dinette. And what does that mean? It means they dreamed of it and they built it. No, just kidding. What that means is right underneath here, you will see this lever. And if you flip said lever, boop, just like that, it will allow you to push the table down. Just like so. Now, you do want to move the cushions, otherwise it's going to sit right on top of the cushions, but the idea is you flip the cushions up, flip the lever, drop it down, take the back cushions, put it on top, and that's how you make your bed, right? Super simple. You don't have to mess with any legs. If you've done the dance before with the pedestal legs, you know that sometimes it can be a little tricky to be able to pull those out and, you know, kind of navigate around with them. So the Dream Style dinette is pretty great for that. The other thing I really like about it is the fact you don't have the pedestals, right? So you don't have to worry about those getting in the way of your legs. Like, this is all open space. I mean, 4 people can easily sit here and your knees aren't going to hit anything. And so for me, that is a big deal. Also at 6 foot tall, even if I sit up straight like I'm supposed to with good posture, you can see even then, you know, I can still fit in that slide. If you're taller, I mean, if you're 6'2", or if you have a really long torso, that may be something you want to check before you pull the trigger on this one, just because that could be a little tight for you. And last thing you want to do is sit in a dinette like this. Nobody wants to do that. Privacy curtain to close off the bedroom here, windows on both sides, and the Murphy bed. Now, for a lot of people, this is a make it or break it when we talk Murphy beds. And I always say when it comes to Murphy bed, you're going to have one of two things. You're going to have basically either aesthetics, it's going to look nice, or you're going to have function. It's going to work well. This one right here is the latter, right? It certainly doesn't look the prettiest. I mean, especially if you leave your bedding hanging out like that, it just doesn't look great. But it is very easy to make up the bed. So jackknife sofa right here, simply lift it up, drop it down just like you would any other jackknife. Now I do want to mention you have storage underneath here, right? In the form of 2 big drawers. So it's not like you lose any, you know, underbed storage, or not much, right? Because those are big drawers. Like, you can fit some big items in there. So you do still get underbed storage like you would in a traditional bed. This one is definitely one of the easier ones to make up. You have some pistons right there. You basically, or some struts, probably the proper word. You basically just grab the handle, pull it down just like so. Boom, there you go. Now, this one is tied, right? Because this is a split mattress, okay? So if you want to come around to the side, Aaron, kind of show. So you can see right here, it's on an angle. So that, you know, when you lay on it, basically these two kind of go like that. Now, because of the bends, because of the size of the mattress, this is kind of kinked up a little. I don't know if that's just on this specific model or if that's on all of them. This might be something that, you know, could be an issue when you sleep. I honestly don't know. This is one of those things I would definitely test, again, before you pull the trigger on that. But as far as ease of use, super easy. One of the easiest Murphy beds to make and put away. You know, it's just strut supported. Boom, done. Storage, both sides, open that up. Rather than a rod, they went with, I don't know what you want to call it, that hanger style, which honestly is better because your hangers won't move around in there, right? Less chance for them to fall off when you're traveling. So I actually do prefer that style of hanger. Underneath, for your nightstands, not only do you have the big nightstand, but in that little cubby hole there will be USB ports as well as electrical outlets. You'll have that on both sides. So if you have a CPAP machine, something like that, you're able to plug it in, plus another electrical outlet right up top here. And lastly, if you want some additional storage on both sides, you get some. All right, one of the other things I wanted to show is access with the slide in. So Aaron, if you want to spin around real quick, show the people the bed up front. So I have the bed currently up, but the sofa is down. But just know, actually, you know what? I'm just going to show you. Why talk about it when I can show you? If I pull the bed down, boop, just like that, you can still get to the bed. So if you need to pull over, take a nap, you can do so. Making our way back a little bit further, if you need to get into the fridge or the freezer, full access to that. It is not impeded at all. And if you need to get to the bathroom, you can still get there too. Now that we've seen the insides, take a look at some of the outside features on the 2021 Winnebago Micro Minnie 2306BHS. Right up front here, folks, is a power tongue jack. This makes it nice and easy to connect and disconnect from your tow vehicle because, well, you got a rocker switch, and all you have to do is flip that bad boy to raise and lower the tongue. You'll also see, Well, maybe you can't because it's daytime, but there is a light right there. So if you, need to connect or disconnect at night, having that light can be a good advantage. Now, right behind that, you will see you have a 30-pound tank cover, but if you take a peek in there, Aaron, you can see it does have 20-pound tank. So, don't be confused in thinking that they are 30 just because it has the big cover. But the nice thing about this is it's basically an added bonus because if you do want larger tanks, you already have the cover for it, right? Just replace the 20s with 30s, good to go. Maybe even take a 20. Have it for a spare in case you do run out, something like that. Because, again, this one is good for cold weather camping. We saw it had the heated holding tanks. It also has a fully enclosed, insulated, and heated underbelly, which will also aid in some of that cold weather camping. Now, behind that, you will see rails for your battery, as well as the fact that this is a BAL Norco frame, right? And what does that mean? Well, let's see if we can find it. So right over here, come around to the corner here for a second with me, Aaron. So what you have, folks, is this, if you can see right back here, this is a huck bolt. So it is a huck bolt frame. So they basically use those huck bolts to connect it rather than welds. Big advantage of that, one, is it's easier to repair in the event there's damage, right? It's not like a car where normally, right, you have a welded frame and if it gets bent, you're SOL. And a lot of times that's the case. On a huck bolt, you can actually cut those bolts, remove a section of the frame, and just replace the sections that need to be repaired, and you'll be good to go. The other big thing about it is they say the number one spot for rust to start is right on that weld seam of a frame. So hopefully by eliminating some of those welds, hopefully you'll start to eliminate the chance for rust to start there. While we're down here, you'll also see propane quick connect. So if you want to hook up a grill or something, it's nice and easy to do so. And you will see the power stabilizer jacks. This is a BAL one. Really cool thing about this is that you have individual controls for each jack. Most of the time you'll have one control to operate the front two, right? So one goes down, then when that one hits, then the other one goes down, and you don't necessarily get as much control. Having all four being able to have their own control, you get to set exactly where you want it. We lift this up, you will see this one has a magnetic catch. It's also a slam latch, nice metal components there. Taking a look inside, this is something you don't often get with a Murphy bed, is this much pass-through storage. Generally, this is like way down here, right? Because the Murphy bed system, but with the system they used in there, again, even though it may not be the prettiest thing, it is very functional, easy to set up, and gives you a ton of storage. Also inside here, I don't know if you're able to see it, come right over here, Aaron, you gotta get in this very corner. Right over there is your solar controller. So this one does have a solar panel already on the roof, plus it has the solar controller built in for you. So right out of the gate, you are good to go. It is trickle charging the battery. Make our way back a little bit further, power awning on there with an LED light strip that is Carefree of Colorado brand. Touch a button to roll out, same thing to go right back in, and no matter how far extended it is, or even if it's completely retracted, you can still use that LED light strip because of its positioning. Large grab handle to get in and out of the RV makes it super simple. Plus you have the fold out steps with aluminum treads. That way they don't rust, and some extra grip tape in case it's early in the morning and there's some dew, or if it's just wet. Another big important thing is this right here, folks. This one uses Azdel composite rather than Luan. So behind this fiberglass skin is that Azdel. Couple big advantages. One, it's lighter weight. That's one of the reasons this one is lighter weight, especially with that slide out. Another one is the fact it doesn't absorb moisture. So that way it almost completely eliminates the chance of delamination, which is huge. And it's a green material, doesn't have any formaldehyde, no off-gassing, things like that. So when you're inside on a hot day, you feel like you're in a chemical factory, which is always nice. Windows all along the side. You will see there's a window in the door, which I like just because that does help add a lot of light into the camper, especially in a smaller RV. If you want TV out here, this is where they mounted the backer for it. The connections are a little ways away, so just make sure you're cognizant of that, but the fact they did give you one is great. If you'd rather listen to music, they do have the two exterior speakers there. Dropping back down, you will notice right here your tires and wheels, and man, oh man, are they pretty. So if you take a look down, you will see just how big those guys are. So they're gonna be wider tires, 15-inch, nice big lugs on there, aluminum alloy. For what it's worth, they are nitrogen filled. They're also Lion's Head, so you get that 1-2-5 warranty on there. And then if you take a look at the suspension system, right, rather than using your standard leaf spring suspension, you will see that these ones are torsion axles, which great thing about torsion axles is it has less wear and tear on the mechanical side of things. So that way it will last a little bit longer. Making our way back a little further here, you can see your black tank flush, and what that is essentially is rather than having to stick a hose down your toilet to wash out your black tank, you hook it right up there. That black tank has sprayers built in, and it'll wash it out for you. Around the back side, square tubular bumper with end caps, giving you a spot for your sewer hose, and also mounted to that is your spare with a cover. It is worth mentioning that this is a full-size spare, just like you have on there, because with that bigger tire, those bigger lugs, if you put a normal spare on there, you're going to have a terrible time towing it. So just bear in mind that is a full-size spare. Outside shower right here on the back, both hot and cold water access. This one does come with a ladder, so you can climb up onto the fully walkable roof. And again, you do have that solar panel up there further toward the front. You also see backup camera prep. So if you want a backup camera, that prep does make it nice and easy to hook up. Coming around to the off-camp side, a couple things I want to hit on. You'll see your satellite and cable inputs, 30 amp detachable power cord plugs right into there. If you're filling your fresh water tank, that is where you will fill it. And dun, 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 opening up this back door. You can see right here, folks, that extra storage I was talking about. I went ahead and flipped the bed up and locked it, and all this right here is great transportation storage. Nice wide door. So if you have totes, things like that, you can slide totes in there. You can stack them up. I love, love, love when manufacturers do this. It really just adds a lot, in my opinion, for the versatility of storage. Dropping down, I just want to show you your termination. This one does only have a single termination. Both your black and gray tank valves will be located right there. And folks, that wraps it up. Again, this beauty behind me is a 2021 Winnebago Micro Minnie 2306BHS. If you're interested in this family RV and you would like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker. Let's go camping.